cannot even think of how people did the literature survey and so on. I know you professors, you can say probably.
We could talk about it for hours.
Yeah, it could be really hard work. Now, okay, did I forget somebody? Dr. Nelson. Dr. Nelson was really supportive all the way, pretty much, and he was a great mentor. And yeah, his feedback were very useful in terms of writing and all the idea generation. He was pretty flexible on those, and yeah, he really gave me transformational advising. So thank you, Dr. Nelson.
I knew that was going to make a difference.
So before I wrap up, let me get back to the idea of exploration again. We are just a few hundred years away from the idea of knowing that the world is flat. And we explored the world over, and then we gathered some knowledge, and then we are exploring now the solar system and its planets. But our solar system is a tiny little speck in the Milky Way galaxy, and our galaxy, in terms of universe, is a tiny little speck among like hundreds of billions of other galaxies in the universe. So let us keep exploring, and I want to finish with a very simple sentence, which is, there is no boundary. Thank you all, and let's talk. Yes.
How many modules do you need to have a simple locomotive motion?
Using only one module, we can perform like one module pivoted movement, and another one was proposed one module inchworm, but it was not possible to get it so far. It might be possible in the future. But using more modules, we can get actually more complex scapes.
Okay. So in the one module, you use 4 motors in that, right? So the same way we could have a Mars rover which has 4 motors, can go for a much more further distance, in a linear way. So have you compared the efficiency of both the designs?
No, because we actually haven't used it on the Mars CR yet. But in UNO, in Dr. Dasgupta's lab, they're actually making one artificial Marcier type of thing, small. Eventually, we plan to perform the testings on that artificial Marcier, and then gradually in, is that in Johnson Space Center? There's the moon ground. So we want to use that over there. Then we can actually compare the value. That's a good suggestion. So,
yeah, when you encounter your singularities, does your robot just bind up, or does it just go into a configuration that's completely unpredictable, or is it both? What happens there?
Yeah, like we didn't actually do that on the real robot. Like we just found out the theoretical position for that. So
you're not really sure what might happen to you?
No, not yet.
Generally, the robot loses a degree of mobility. And so if you give it a command which tries to go in that one direction that's been lost, then you'll get a really, high rate motion in the motors as they try to kind of jam through that singularity. And so bad things can happen to components.
Binding stuff up.
Yeah, essentially. So the rule of thumb is just know where your singularities are and don't command your robot to go through them.
Try to
Just go
avoid
around them.
those.
They're an obstacle just like you want to avoid in real life too.
Yes, proceed.
What robotical framework are you guys using for the modules?
What?
What robotics framework? What like are you using Python? Are you using the Windows? What are you using?
Yeah, for the first one, like this is Moderate 1, first version, we used Arduino microcontroller. So Arduino is like a C-based programming. And then the next one, Moderate 2, is BeagleBone computer, which is just like a computer that runs Linux in it. So it can be programmed in C, C#, or Python is possible. So there are many different programming languages we can apply on that.
And if you're running it in those languages, how reliable and safe is it? Does it have a weak link inside the system itself, inside the module itself?
Is it like hardware business
Yeah,
or
does
software?
it have any weak links at all?
Yeah, for moderate one, actually, we tested it several times, and we found a lot of different problems with this. Like, its weight is a problem, and like the prismatic degree of freedom, it had a problem in the beginning. Like, it was asymmetric, so I had to move it and make it symmetric to move it properly. So it's like a trial and error process.
Anyway, as a follow-up to that, on the newer Beaglebone platform, can you do ROS?
ROS, I didn't see actually, like if ROS is doable in the but it might be. Yeah, I think I thought of looking into that. ROS is robot operating system.
I assume it could. It's just whether it's advisable or not, you know, how much resources it takes.
It would be nice actually to use ROS because these days lots of robots are run in ROS, robot operating
It's
system.
throwing quite a bit.
Like,
More questions, please.
please, this is your chance.
I think they just want donuts.
Okay.
I have one.
Yeah.
You just may have mentioned it, but, so in your video demonstration, the hand kind of had to move it close to dock together. What is the mechanism that you're proposing that they line up so that they can lock together?
Yeah. Actually, we are using, for the new module, we are using camera for each of them to detect actually, like, you know how it looks like, so it will just align into that position and then lock with each other. And also using infrared sensors to detect actually how far it is from each other. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much for attending. Yeah. If there is no question, then
Yeah, we can excuse everybody but the committee.